Will
Freedom.
freedom. Imagine him type. It's funny. You're still announced on Steam. Hello, Sir Edward.
Yes.
Peak.
Yeah, I still announce on Steam. Sometimes I'm like last minute adding it on there, and sometimes I do forget, but I try to. But that's not a popular place, I think. I don't know if anybody is.
That's where I always were looking for you at.
I don't know. I haven't. Normally, I don't like scheduling too far ahead of time to create some anticipation for something that might not happen, like something happens, act of God type thing. But
yeah,
I don't know. I try to at least do a week at a time because I know a week.
Yes, thank you for the derpies, Sir Edward.
Hello, Edward. Hello, Peak. And thank you very much. That is 6 derps.
6 whole derps.
That's a lot of derps.
You can spend those derps at the store and buy more derps. It's a derp-based economy.
It's the best day today. It is? Hello, Blur. Why is it the best day?
It's post Groundhog Day, so that's pretty great. Groundhog Day is gotta be the weirdest U.S. holiday by far.
It depends. Oh, if you're saying like
we're pulling
it's not official holiday, but in terms of
it's a national holiday.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't get it off.
Well, I don't think it's one anyone gets off, but it's still considered a national holiday.
Well, is like National Donut Day?
Well, it's a federally recognized holiday. They just nobody takes it off.
Well, yeah, but if we were to ask like Biden, like
yeah,
is you know anything about Donut Day? And he'd be like, yeah, and then it's recognized by the federal government.
If you can get us Donut Day off, I'll
if I can get Donut Day off.
Yeah, I want it off. This is the day you sit home and you get diabetes.
Every day is a something.
But no, like pulling a rodent out of the ground and then using it to predict the weather. That's some crazy stuff. Okay, it totally works.
Hello, Kite. It's his Friday, of course. Oh, that is a good day. She's very excited. It's Friday too. She's thinking. She's like, "What's the favorite day of the week?" And she's like, I know exactly what the face is that you're looking for. You're looking for that right.
Feels like she's looking pouty face. Oh, that's cute. It's almost a little creepy. Oh, listen. She got the scrunchy face. The nose scrunches are so good on these.
She can be with
What's she saying?
No, hold on.
Oh. Now she looks angry. It's anger face. It's like I saw you were in my room again, and you touched things. I don't like that. You're grounded, mister.
She's speaking to her nose?
Yes, yes. Her nose
Bad booper.
Is...
She does. She Googles it.
Yes. This also punishes it.
It's trying to it's locating nearest book.
Yes, you can smell old tomes. I smell something from the 10th century.
It's like, whoop. It's like a divining rod for book. She's like, book, books this way.
Follow your nose wherever it goes. She's just like, let's do it again. She's like, this is not Fruit Loops.
It's just smelling Applejack. Do everything.
It's Apple Loops.
So I saw her search history and she's not happy. Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
I like those. They have those the you know, they have the bracelets that you can get that like say like him or he, him, or just like, you know, different WWJD or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one that says delete my search history as a I died, please delete my search history.
I have a WW. I have a What Would Derpy Do bracelet. I've shown it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome.
Where is it?
It's upstairs.
Why are you not wearing it?
It's tiny. I think I wore it once.
Wow.
That was enough.
I just like buying derpy stuff.
Yes. I think I have more horse stuff coming in the mail here soon. Because I need more horse stuff.
I gotta hear this.
If you had a 3D printer, you could just print these models in any pose you want. And that would be pretty awesome.
I don't like, there's too much teeth here.
A 3D printer would be cool, but it sounds expensive.
Books.
Books.
I think this part of it needs to not stretch so much. It needs to be up more.
You know what this model needs? Is like chest floof. Like just standard.
Okay.
Like the G5 ponies have chest floof. Just standard chest floof. They have full body floof, but... Alright, oh, what are you doing? It's a spacesuit for Rainbow Dash. Chair? What is that? That she's being attacked by triangles. Oh. Oh, yes, that.
I'm doing very important things.
Yes. Now, if you put it on there, you have to leave it now. Have a whole video with chest floof ponies. It'd be amazing.
Chest Ploof Ponies sounds like the next... like, if that was the name of the show...
Yes. My Little Ponies, chest floof ponies. Chest floof ponies, chest floof ponies. You have to pet them.
And you don't even see them. They're just covered.
In floof.
So I got that open. Oh, I can't middle click. Open a new window. We need materials, models,
How do you scroll left and right on the timeline when you have the whole thing selected?
I actually do the really weird way. If you can zoom out, and then if you hold, or it'll always zoom in on that point. You can, so I'll just do that. I'll just zoom in. I'll move this to wherever I need, or hit tab to, then you can select it from here, move to where you want, and then zoom in again. That also works. I think I generally do the probably tab method more, but that does work.
I'm being quickly reminded why I never burn food scented candles. Your candles are making me super hungry. It smells like
they're not food. One is a cabin smell, and the other one's a tree.
Well, then why does it smell like an apple pie's baking in the oven?
I used to have one of those, but I don't think that's one of those. That one over there, it might be apple. You can go check. I can't remember which one the red one is. That one I believe is like a pine.
It looks pine because I don't think
green is not.
It could either be pine or it could be like booger smell.
Booger. There's a lot of other green things.
It's just two: pine trees and boogers.
Okay. Perfect. That's exactly this one. It's boogers. Okay. What's that one? Oh, yeah, so it's probably like a cranberry or like a fruit a little bit in there.
Yeah,
okay, that's autumn reef then. Actually, I just got another coupon for buy three, get three. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing really well, Luna. It's the weekend. I went to lunch with my parents this afternoon, played a little bit of video games. Some of us. I thought I did a little other work too. Yeah, I did some other work on stuff too. So Flutter's in the title had to join. Yep. Well, she is at the end here. She is right here, and look at her little happy face.
She looks like a happy Flutter.
Yep.
Flutterhorse.
And she's innocent. She does nothing wrong. Well, sometimes though. But she'll be okay.
She happy. That's what's important.
So happy. I love this. Just like the twist.
Just looking around. Did you hear the thing?
Yeah, it might be a little. Actually, it's probably might be louder on your guys' side, but well, yeah, it actually probably is. Let's do a test. I just turned it down. Okay, now it's down a little bit. What was I doing though? Oh yeah, I was doing.
Flutter says the beep. Yes.
Okay, so we need to.
Oh no. The floof, it's merging. Perfect.
See, she got chest floof.
She do have the chest floof. It kind of just looks like that's just what happens if they don't go to their barber for a while. Gotta get your coat combed.
Okay, and now we need to.
We must go deeper.
I think that's commenting on this one.
Pony Twilight. Yes.
Because this file dictates how it utilizes lighting. So if I reset it to use the equivalent of values, it should look better.
I think it suddenly becomes somewhat transparent.
I think Normally, if that happens, it's because of ambient occlusion. Actually, it works pretty well when it actually does work.
Yeah.
We could make her just super furry. She could be like Flufflepuff.
I remember that pony.
If I had to take a guess what's doing it, it's probably this one. But if I remove that, it's gonna get rid of the black speckles that make it match. No, it isn't what's doing it. Okay, well then it is maybe this one, but if
Well,
I'm
it makes
afraid
sense if it was the alpha test.
but alpha test is it might be needed. Oh, nope, it's not. It must be hiding the actual thing in there. So there you go. He's extra furry.
Free Twilight.
It could be like, let's see here.
This is a little bit more than chest floof. This is like, I've become too fluffy. I'm cave horse. I'm powerful cave horse.
Well, we could. You want her to have like more?
Oh, see, I'm conflicted because I feel like with chest floof, a little bit goes a long way. Now she has a beard. She's become floof. She'll never be cold.
Books, books, books.
Oh no, it's consuming her.
Let's just shrink it down and make it like manageable.
Tiny floof. There.
One. I know. I'm turning it down.
I feel like if you can just get like the 3 like hairs towards the top.
The best would actually be to shrink it down a lot and then put a couple of them like that.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
It looks like she's been taking down the steroids. She got the one little like stray one that's going up.
Yeah, it's the calic. She got chest floof calic.
I like instead I like this.
Looks like an avocado's growing out of her chest.
It's she got a growth.
Oh no.
She got she had a paper cut and now she's becoming book.
Oh no. That's how it happens. That's where books come from. Where books.
But, thank you for the follow, Ace Combat fan. Thank you very much. Shrink that there. Twilight has a neck beard. She can. We can.
Into a beard. It's like a woolly willy. You just kind of move it around. It's gotten violent. It's got a goatee. the hairs that stick out the other direction look like little. It's just like grabbing onto her face. She's become wise beyond her years. Kind of looks like she's eating it. She's like, num 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 hair. It's delicious.
Books, books, books. Books, books, books. Apples, darling. Books. Books, books, books.
Okay, well we're gonna. I don't have a what the fuck folder on this one yet.
I was wondering how far down this rabbit hole will we continue.
And it's chest floof.
Yeah, it was chest floof. Chest floof was it?
Okay, so next time Michael doesn't want chest.
No, I do want chest floof. I want chest floof that looks like on all the ponies over there.
Looks like cotton candy. Ooh, Twilight would be delicious.
Darling, please buy my... Darling, darling.
Forgot this is here.
Darling, please buy my bananas.
Here
Please buy my bananas.
Buy my bananas. She's like, I'll have a banana.
She's...
She wants a banana.
Oh, I think this is the derpy. Oh no, I can't. No, she's fine. She does want a banana.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to eat. She's trying to go for the. She was aiming for the banana.
Yes.
But no, I forgot that the audio was still on. So like I'm like, what the hell is that audio? And it was banana. Please buy my bananas. Fucking gray beards from the Skyrim, Holly. Keep Pony Twilight. Looks like anime given the lack of frames. Yeah, yeah, it was probably meant to be that way. Should have scented candles like those bad tasting jelly beans. Every time you light a candle, it's always a gamble. You could do a candle like layered. I think they used to have some of those, so as it burns, it goes in a different sense, and that would be neat if they could customize that. So like you could have all these pleasant ones, but then have somewhere towards the bottom have like just rotten egg or something. Rotten egg might be dangerous because somebody would think they have a gas leak or something. But like it would be interesting to have run that. Michael has a good story about being boozled.
Being boozled?
Remember when we made a custom one for you?
Oh yeah. It was just all the it was I liked the butter popcorn jelly beans. I thought they tasted pretty good, and everybody else was like, "Yeah, they're disgusting." Like, they're all right. So they made an entire jar of popcorn butter jelly beans.
There's a local store by us that has a big machine that you can custom pull any flavor you want.
Yes.
And make it a custom. So.
But they slipped in dangerous jelly beans. I was just eating some of the jelly beans, and all of a sudden, one tasted wrong. Very, very wrong, because the single most disgusting jelly bean is like spoiled milk jelly bean. It's so disgusting, and I ate that thing, and I was like, it was so nasty. I couldn't shake it for like the better part of a day.
Yeah, and did you ever finish the rest of them?
No, I got scared. It made me so ill. It was disgusting. Nothing is more like gut-wrenching than spoiled milk. Like, I'll eat some nasty stuff, but spoiled milk, it's gross.
It was funny when we found out he actually got to it. So I was not a part of the actual making of it. It was just the
but they knew there was spoiled milk with jelly beans in there, didn't they?
Well, I guess so, yeah.
I thought maybe it was an accident, but
how do you accidentally put spoiled milk jelly beans?
Because they're very similar in color.
Yeah, but why would like only one accidentally get in?
Well, there was a few. There was mostly the buttered popcorn ones, and I remember as long as I had the jar, Giz was like, "Why don't you eat some more jelly beans?" I'm like, "I might later." And only now do I realize he was really wanting me to get to the super nasty one. Ugh. Never love with jelly.
Sunset books. It's so Pwn 3. If you haven't seen what we're working on here, we're basically doing kind of I'm called cliche, but I don't know why. But it's basically all the characters are just saying single words until the end. Here, I can show you what we got here.
Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Books. Apples, darling. Books. Hey! Awesome. Books. Awesome. Darling. Awesome.
Gonna get the audio for that, but they're just gonna all cacophony talk, and Fluttershy's gonna feel left out.
Awesome.
It's so stupid. I love it. But the best part is this.
Apples, darling. Books.
That is good.
It would be fun to do like really, really quick cuts between all like a whole bunch of them randomly, but that would make the video too long.
Yes.
Controlled by a jelly bean. You can play Russian roulette with jelly beans. That's essentially what it is. There's an actual game you can buy called Bean Boozled. and it is where some of the jelly beans are good flavored and other ones are not. And it's about the reactions from people getting into the right one, the wrong one, and then the relief of the right one and the opposite for when it's wrong. So that's already kind of exists.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow Master Roshi somehow ended up in Twilight's body. He would never leave his room. I don't know, unless he's like not into that.
Used to be a pony. That's why.
Books. Books.
I'm so happy with that triple book.
Yes.
Said he's so happy about it.
Books.
Skunk one. So like the rotten egg. Ooh.
I've been boozled. I always got the skunk one. Ugh. Oh. All right. So Applejack's moving now. I realize that this one is not lit. Actually, can I just take the lights from this one? I could paste it before and I would just keep the group, but if I don't, if I do that, then they'll be differently numbered than other shots. So I want to delete them first so that these become 1, 3, and 4 instead of like 8, 9, and 10.
Darling.
I like it.
Okay, that's better.
Darling. Books. Apples, darling. Books. Apples, darling. Darling.
That's gonna be half the comments in this video. I can already tell.
What?
Just apples, darlings, books.
Books.
I kind of want to like shrink this down to like this,
Apples, darling. Books.
like have it cut
Apples, darling.
faster.
I kind of like it better the way it
Apples,
was.
darling.
It
Books.
felt better
Darling.
paced,
Darling.
like more casual.
Apples.
Well, it might be. Let me see.
Apples, darling.
I probably needed different apples
Apples, darling.
because these ones are the triples, which means I'm cutting the audio in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Where if I were to go get a fresh one, it would sound better because it would have no beginning and end to have a cut.
Hmm.
Thank you for the follow, Carbine. Probably thinking of her again. Books. Yeah, I kind of want
Apples, darling. Books.
the books is fine. That is the and that actually was with other ones.
Books. Apples, darling. Books.
Yeah, but I think I need a new.
Apples, 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 apples,
I think I can get away with apples, but
darling.
Just want a new darling.
Book. Apples, darling.
yeah, something about it. It starts harsh, and it makes it feel cut. It might not be cut in that way, but it just. I think I want a different darling. Oh, I was saying red because I didn't put enough things in. Oh, Carpine. Me being an MLP fan and just screaming over this. I'm glad, I think.
Darling.
Screaming in horror.
Darling.
Terrifying.
Darling.
Horses that talk? What horrible witchcraft is this?
Darling.
It's like I want to find something similar to the last one that just doesn't have that harsh start.
Darling.
That first one really wasn't bad, but not from what I'm looking for. She sounds tired because she's been saying nothing but darling for like a month.
Darling.
But I need it to be a certain speed. I want it to be pretty quick.
Darling.
Those sound very mechanical, like very AI. I can smell the brownies my grandmother is baking through the vents. Ooh, that sounds really good.
Darling. Darling.
Oh, some brownies.
Those aren't good either.
Brownies?
Darling. Darling. Darling.
Having any luck? I might.
Darling. 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 Darling.
Usually I can tell, like, if I see it look like this has a lot of, like, random groups to it. It's not going to sound as good. This has a more smooth flow, and so it's probably going to have a better result. I can see that because it's smaller. So, like, this one's probably going to sound okay. This one's going to sound decent. This one's going to sound bad.
Darling.
Yeah, no.
Darling.
That sounded pretty good.
Darling.
That actually sounded pretty good for that was. Let's try something else instead. So can I find the audio for this?
Darling, 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 darling. Darling, 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 darling. Darling,
Which darling is this?
darling, darling.
I think it's the middle one.
Darling, 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 darling.
It's the middle one, yeah. So we're going to open that in Audition and see if we can just blend the beginning a little bit more. Because that's the part that's bugging me with it.
Darling, darling.
Okay, so it's right here.
Darling.
So
Darling, 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 darling.
can I just kind of, I don't know if I actually say that, just decrease the beginning of this just a little bit.
Darling, 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 darling,
She just keeps saying,
Getting darling.
darling, darling, darling,
that's the right one, right?
darling,
Yeah, it is.
darling,
Oh,
darling, darling.
I think I know why. Because there is audio before this. It's like an sound, and I think that
Darling, darling,
this is extracting only the darling bit. So what we'll do is we're gonna actually I could just no, I can't save. I could, but I don't like saving over this. We're gonna call it darling 1. This doesn't export correctly to run, so I need to put it into Audacity because Audacity does do the things right.
Hey, charging hot rod.
Yeah, hello, Hot Rod. Thank you for the resub. How are you? 1 whole year. It is. You got the rainbow cup.
Rainbows.
You're so fancy now. But thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, this is probably... Well, it's going to crash as soon as the library loads. So I'm going to grab it, save it.
Before it's too late.
Yep, and then I'll do it myself. For those that aren't here normally, that is a thing I have to do because I have too much crap. So
I'm gonna have to delete all those ponies.
something I try is just fading at the start of the original sounds. I think that it wasn't that the D was strong. It was that there was a sound that I was still grabbing from the one before it. Because she says darling, and I think that at the end was continuing forward, and I just had to cut it harder. But SFM has a problem with audio where if you're using only a piece of something and it's small enough, it sometimes doesn't really start it when it's supposed to, or it'll grab earlier in the file than you're actually wanting. By cutting it like this, and just able to hear it correctly. So we're going to delete this one then.
Darling. Darling. Apples, darling. Books. Apples, darling. Books.
That does sound better.
Darling. Books. Apples, darling. Books.
How many hours does Steam say you have in Source Filmmaker, Argo? He has like 10 whole hours.
Yeah, 10 whole hours followed by 1 hour and then 4 hours.
That's like
A lot.
6 hours.
Can I'm doing well, Harad. I hope you're doing well as well. I sacrifice the SFM for the greater good. No, I don't do my audio in SFM. I do it in Adobe Premiere. If anything, I'd probably only use audio in SFM for lip sync. It's Premiere does some audio editing, but if you're doing specifically audio editing, and if you have the suite, Audition is super powerful. It took me a little while to learn how to use it, but now that I have, it's I wouldn't say I'm like an expert at it, nowhere near, but it has some powerful tools in there. It's pretty nice. Wait, SFM can auto lip sync? Yes, but don't. I don't know if the tool still works, but there is a way to have it detect sounds based on things, but they have to be attached correctly to the model, which I don't know if the new ones do or not. And it's based on phonemes, and they are cheap. They are not cinema quality. They are video game quality, about just getting something to pass by for when a video game is playing and they just want to have the lips do whatever. It's not good for normal stuff. I used to use it as a base, but it's actually better just to do it from scratch. Its timings are off. It's mainly just open and close. And a lot of it is utilizing some other facial stuff that most of the pony models don't have. So because it can utilize those, it's kind of just a half effort. That's about 24 hours. It is. 10,000 is close to 24. How many hours does Steam... yeah, that's what I was going to ask. There's a script out there that can do that, but apparently it's terrible. Yeah, it's not very... I don't think it's a script. I think there's an actual built-in functionality in SFM. I can't remember what you have to do it, but I believe it's all built in. Yeah. I can't remember. So lip flaps. Sure. Basically just open and close their mouths depending on how loud the noises are. Yeah, but I think they do some pucker, but it doesn't do, like, sometimes you want a lot of pucker, sometimes you don't. And one sound and another sound next to each other might be different than one sound and a different sound next to each other as to how the mouth should be shaped. Like, well, you might say B is forward on the mouth. B, you might have it actually go backwards further if the sound that just came before it ended to where your lips are already in that position. You're not going to completely rearrange your mouth every time sometimes. So, I don't know. It's very complicated. Mouthing stuff is hard.
Darling.
You just become the horse and get rid of this whole animation thing. And you can just, like, be the horse. That'd be so much easier.
Books.
I have no idea where I was going with this.
No, not either. Alright, what do I have left in the shop? Oh yeah, I have to do rarity. So I probably can just do like I did with that horse. We're going to just copy rarity. Oh yeah, she's still walking forward. Okay, I did this one instead. Oh, that is kind of what I did. Oh, copy.
Apples.
So how's everybody
Darling.
speaking so far, stream?
Darling.
I might have her blink a little bit more here. I don't feel her eyes are closing enough.
Darling. Darling.
And she will. Her eyebrows aren't animated yet. I'll get to that. Okay, rarity. Paste. Oh, you are not in the right position. There we go. Oh, she is. Her movement bits are right here. Okay, so what parts of this is she actually moving in?
Books.
Not much of it. So it's about there that she starts to about here. So we'll just say screw it. Oh, I need to not destroy my bookmarks. There we go. Now that she'll move kind of slow, but it's slow is still better than not.
Books.
Oh, that got louder.
Books.
She's just like lightly ignoring Twilight.
Well, I need to make sure. Okay. So she needs to turn her head. So we'll just do.
Books. Yes, thank you for the derpies, Nolan.
Thank you very much, Nolan, for the 100 bits. If there was 100, that's a lot of derpies.
That's a lot of derpies.
No, that would take a lot of work, but it would be fun to have a way to, like, for every bit, there's like a derpy that walks across the bottom of the screen, and they just keep adding up.
Just and until they take over the whole stream.
I don't know if you could do that. There might be like a mod for it.
What's that thing Midprim uses where the little characters bounce around the screen? Maybe you could do that, but they just never disappear.
The ones that take on the name of the people watching, or the ones that people that do
the
emotes.
The emotes.
Yeah, that is Streamlabs that I use does have that functionality. I just find that it can be annoying sometimes when something you're doing is important or whatever, and then there's just like Michael faces everywhere.
It wouldn't go across your screen.
No.
Books.
I've thought about some of that functionality, but overall I've just felt like it's I don't know, not my thing for doing that. But the ones that have like little people walk around on the bottom of the screen, I think I really don't like having that, because that one is like, I don't know, very distracting. It wouldn't be on my screen, yes.
I don't know if anybody remembers a video game called Creatures. Do you remember that at all? Mm-hmm. I got this CD that was kind of an interactive thing to promote the video game. It wasn't the video game itself, but it was a promotion for the game. And on it, you could. This was back when I had like Windows 95. This was a long time ago. And on this, I think it was floppy. You would download the little creature that would walk across your screen. It was from the creature from the game, right? Mm-hmm. And being a butt, when I was a kid, I loaded this onto my parents' computer, and like they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, I think it's a virus, because it looked like a little bug man. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "That's a virus?" Because this is before I had any clue, and it was. I remember it being quite humorous.
Well, that was back in the time where viruses would do kind of crap like that.
Yeah,
because they're like, look at this, it's so cool. And then they got smart, because if you want to have a cool virus, you just don't want to advertise it. So it's usually hidden. Distraction notifications. Yeah. Well, the pop-ups for like follows and stuff, that's all. It's not on my screen. That's separate. I can make it on my screen, but since some of this is used for like stream highlight stuff, I like having that part clean, so that stuff isn't recorded. But if it ends up being part of content, Nightly actually just physically adds it back in. So
bonsai buddies.
The recordings. I'll make sure it is recording. Yeah, it is. Are done at like the screen and my camera separately, so he can reposition and rebuild it to look like the original stream, but then he can move the camera, zoom in at full 1080 instead of like zooming in on just the corner a bit and all that stuff. So
Books.
So these two are in the shop, but I feel like they're almost too bright. Which it might be accurate, but I also feel like it's distracting. I'm not going to probably worry about that right now. I do think I want to bring Applejack down a little bit. She was supposed to be taller there, but it made her look taller, not higher. Not like she was standing on an elevated surface. That was just confusing. So I'm going to bring her down.
Everybody's bringing Applejack down. Poor Applejack.
Books.
Okay.
I am for a tree.
I bet Michael installed Bonsai Buddy.
I don't know what Bonsai Buddy is.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that either. I used to have like some of the weird script kiddie apps that made you feel like a hacker, but all you really were doing was taking advantage of somebody else's exploits.
Hmm. I actually do remember a video game I made a hack for once. It was called Warm. And I was learning some coding.
You made a mod?
Books.
Yeah, well, I made a mod that hacked the game to break it.
Books.
And got somebody banned for it. Because he left it on.
Books.
It was
You were
essentially...
such an asshole when you were young.
This was like my early 20s, mid to early 20s. And I was just rewriting some stuff. I'm like, I found a way to manipulate this so that people in the game can basically create a tunnel through the entire world and exploit the heck out of the resources in this game Warm. And me, my friend had it after I programmed it because we were both going back and forth trying to find ways to do stuff in this game. And we had our neighbor in the game. And we're like, hey, guess what we could do? And we sent him a copy of what we made, and we were using it sparingly. He turned it on and left it. And the moderators were like, there's no way you did this without doing something very wrong. And he got banned from the game.
There was I used to play an MMO a long time ago called Space Cowboy. I think it's called Arrival or Ace. I think it's Ace Online now. But it was long time ago, and there was a whole bunch of crap that kind of went wrong with the people running it. I can't remember who it was that ran it, but eventually the people that had contracted them to run it took that contract away from them so they could no longer host it, which meant that this MMO that people put years into, they were just going to shut down and delete your accounts. Stupid bunch of stuff. But the one lasting mod for the game that was from the company that ran it that would log into the game, he basically would just have like a god character. Sometimes he would pop up into the game and like have a game of try to kill the mod, but he basically could one shot everybody. It was hilarious. And it was just basically Star Fox Online. And so the last month they said, okay, the servers are shutting down in a month, so we're just going to turn off everything. So they turned off anti-cheat. They turned off everything. Or hacking was legal. So there was people flying around doing the weirdest shit because nobody cared.
Yeah,
and so
right.
it became hacker battles. And it was hilarious on the official game. They disabled all the paid items in the game, so you could just make anything overpowered as hell. They turned off all probability to be 100%, so everything could be made OP as hell. They're just like, have fun. We're shutting it down in a month. And it was an amazing month. It was so fun. I just remember, like, you go into an area and you see people, like, zooming across, like, teleporting all over the place. And then I'd be like, we have 3 hackers in this area, and they're like, I'm on it. And then, like, 3 more hackers in there. Oh, it was so good times. So Mike can even bring even misfortune to artificial worlds. Yeah.
Apparently.
He just brings negative to everything. Bonsai Buddies was a scammy desktop assistant that was popular around the Kazaa Morpheus time frame. That was my time frame.
Kazaa. Oh.
I had Kazaa.
Yeah.
Think Napster.
Nah.
But it wasn't shut down that I know of. Think Clippy on your desktop with a speech engine. Oh. And at that time, speech engines, yeah, that would have been my face. Be like this.
You ever seen the movie Blank Check?
Darling.
Yes.
Yeah, the kid uses like the
Darling,
old
darling,
Apple
darling.
speech text to talk. It's amazing. It's like so very 90s. Looking back though, I hate that kid.
Why?
Like, that kid could have been set for life, but he just blew it all on candy and video games.
Yeah. Would you have done if you were his age?
I probably actually I wouldn't have done that.
Okay, well, now you're trying to dodge the question.
I would have probably, like, mentioned something to someone, but then I probably would have stolen.
Darling.
I don't know. I like to think I wouldn't have just blown it all on.
Darling.
Like,
Bucks?
I definitely would have bought lots of pizza, sure, but like, the kid like bought a mansion and trampolines and.
Well, I think the statistic was that more than half of the people that win the lottery go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because if you win $1 million, and you spend $1 million, more than likely the things that you purchased are going to have maintenance costs.
Yeah.
And like if you buy an $800,000 house with it, you still have to pay the taxes on it.
Right.
So you have the money to cover that. And so, yeah, you can't do that. But that's at that age, it's just lots of money. So whatever. It's nuts. Use it a bit. That's better. Try this again. Mike's passive ability is Chaos Influencer. That's his primary skill.
I do enjoy chaos. It's fun.
Those hacker battles were probably just about who could play the most without crashing their own game. Kind of. I actually did have one friend that he got really good at the game to where he was able to figure out just using normal in-game mechanics, and he showed me how he could do some things that weren't really meant in the game. So it was exploiting, not hacking. So it was in that situation that should be an issue that they would fix, not his problem. He got banned for hacking because the moderators saw him doing this and they said he was hacking. And so he brought them into a game to show them something and they still didn't believe him. And he ended up getting perma-hacked or perma-banned. And so he would make a new count. And I think that one got banned just because he knew how to play the game better than most. That guy was crazy good at that one. And because it was kind of skill-based. You could be super OP in terms of like skill, but it was such a grindy game. Like you would go into an area and if you wanted to level up one enemy, the only way to level up was killing things, and every enemy you killed gave you 0.01% of experience, and you could run around and kill them at a decent pace, but you're still looking at probably 1 or 2 kills a second, and at 0.01 it's going to take you hours and hours and hours and hours. And just for me to level up, because I was the support class, I couldn't kill that fast. I would have to go with groups that were leveling, and I could share experience because I was the support class, and that was the only way I could really level.
That's kind of what got that one guy banned that game. Warm. It's warm. It's completely gone now, I'm sure. But that game was super grindy, and big part of it was digging mines to get resources, and it took weeks upon weeks to have even like a base starter mine. And that guy we gave that thing to, he dug a straight line across half the map in like a day and a half. It's funny.
A little harder to cheat like that nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back, Peak. Passive means that it's always on, so that means that it's chaos no matter where you go. Statistics say that 80% of lottery winners. Yeah, okay, so it is higher than I thought. Yeah, but it makes sense. People that don't know how to manage money will usually just blow it a lot faster. I already have a full plan if I ever did, but I never buy lottery tickets, so not gonna matter.
Your plan is failing.
If I ever won the lottery, the big thing I would do is I would sequester at least half of it to just investments, because the dividends and returns from a large amount of money like that would be probably your normal income, which means that's the fund of I don't need to work for the rest of my life. The other half is to have some fun with, but then the normal income could supplement any upkeep. So
I have a really good plan if I win the lottery. It's a foolproof plan. I'm going to win the lottery and give all the money to some guy who says he can make magic ponies real. And then I wait.
I don't think. No.
It's a good idea.
That won't. There's no amount of money you could make that would do that, though.
That's not what the guy will say.
You mean the random homeless guy that's sitting in the corner? That's
he does in his free time is his business. Being homeless might be one of them.
He just prefers being homeless. He's actually rich.
The geniuses capable of making magic horses are all eccentrics. So it's gonna work.
It's supposed to have movement on the camera, but I feel like it's not really. Why is the camera having position move? It shouldn't.
Already got a guy. Thank you, Sir Edward.
I can make magic ponies real. Then give him money.
I will as soon as I win the lottery.
Well, when's the last time you bought a lottery ticket?
It's been a long time. I never carry cash. That's all they accept for buying lottery tickets.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I never really. I haven't. It's been. I don't know if I've ever bought a lottery ticket.
Because the last thing they need is like people coming in with like their credit cards and then having things bounce or not go through after the fact.
That kind of makes sense, I guess.
It's like this person won the lottery, but they didn't actually pay for their ticket because their check bounced or whatever.
Who writes checks?
Old people. Me occasionally.
Well, if it's old people, then why are they
playing the lottery? They'll be dead soon.
And why are they cheating the system? You can see some like 80-year-old woman running out of the store.
No, I could see people doing that though. Just like people who are like desperate, writing checks they know will bounce and to buy a lottery ticket that they then will hopefully win them money so they can get out of whatever rut they're in. Nah, I can see that. I have a voice impression. Kermit the Frog in Ponyville. Thank you, Silver. Giving me an easy one. It's like, Kermit the Frog here, live in Ponyville. We have lots of horses. We have horses over here. You want to comment, little horse? She says that she doesn't like frogs and will kill me. This has been Kermit the Frog preparing to be trampled to death by a horse. No, oh no!
Sounds like Centaur roll.
Like this is how the arms flailing. As he's murdered.
That was a really bad impression.
Kermit the Froggy. Slowly morphing into the Swedish Chef. Pony the Frog in Kermitville. Why not? That's not a thing. Wait. I took my glasses off and went blind. Pony the Frog in Kermitville here. I'm very confused about my identity. Am I frog or am I pony? I'm a frog clearly in Kermitville, but I am also named Pony. I'm pretty sure my parents hated me. Taking a reflection on my life and quitting the news job. This is Pony the Frog signing off. I'm gonna go beat up my parents.
I'm so confused right now.
Piggy becomes clickbait YouTuber, encourages Kermit in Ponyville, or encounters Kermit in Ponyville. What is with these snarls?
Well, last time it was Simpsons.
Now we're saying Muppets, and I'm not good at anything.
Not good at anything.
Okay. Miss Piggy here. Oh wait. Oh jeez. It's like here's just gonna be like Miss Piggy here is in Kermitville. I don't know. I found a Kermit the Frog. I'm gonna like I don't know.
I love how all your impressions are like they're always kind of the same, except for British.
It's like it's like I'm Miss Piggy. And I found Kermit the Frog, and I'm going to stick him in a tube and shove him down some stairs for my YouTube channel. Yes.
This is
10,000 views right there.
This ice bucket challenge is getting kind of excessive.
Stuck him in a tube, threw him down some stairs. It's perfect. Oh no. I'm gonna beat up my parents. Sir Edward, no.
You said it.
I did. but no. Pony the Frog said it. Because that's the thing. Nolan, please.
He's got so many points.
I'm gonna break.
I think he's got enough to probably do that, like,
The whole
I think 100
freaking
times.
streams. Okay.
I don't know if that one has a limit on it or not.
Fozzie the Bear trying to cheer up chat because all the terrible voice and presence. It's like...
You gotta think.
What did the orange say to the banana? Aren't you glad I am not a banana? Waka waka. No. I don't
Soon
know
enough, I
Fuzzy
think-
Bear jokes.
Soon enough, I think he's just gonna start crying, and that's gonna be his
Too
whole.
late. I'm just gonna go upstairs and just cry myself to sleep tonight.
Okay, what did you do last night?
That, but I wasn't thinking about chat as much.
I like quote number one. Pickles are. Probably becomes a Twitch streamer. I'm gonna send your mom that one that says you're gonna go beat her up.
Yeah, she knows.
You probably already do.
Yeah, every time I visit, I just beat up my mom and leave. See, I'm a monster, chat. Why even, yeah. I think I beat up my parents, yes. Oh. She great.
I think that's about
Chicken.
kind of efficient.
Chicken and Michael. Not you, but Chicken.
But you can actually not a number, you can pull that as a quote. Yeah, you have another one.
Oh, I do. Where? Oh. I'm currently stuck in an infinite chat
Interpretation.
loop. Yes.
It's a big word.
I
It's
got
got more
it.
than 3 letters.
Does. I'm currently stuck in an infinite chat interpretation loop. What does that even mean? Explain that to me.
You
Mr.
said
Big
it.
Word.
You said it. So what does it mean?
I think we're legitimately stuck in a chat interpretation loop because I'm stuck here trying to interpret what the heck you want from me. What do you want from me? You got a stupid face, so there. Ha ha ha.
I do. Like quotes being shown. Michael, don't cry about voice impressions. There are better things to be sad about, like wet socks. Ooh, wet socks suck.
Well, who's wearing the wet socks?
And I don't care who. If my
what-
socks get wet, and I mean,
What
if
if it's
it's
a clown with wet socks,
Well-
and he's just sad and they're all droopy?
But I thought you liked sad clowns.
Sad, yeah. That's why it's fun. Derpy wearing wet socks.
Okay.
That's a fetish.
I need a horse. Who did the soup face? Kite. Do you have a horse? We need a horse.
Wet socks are a good hangover cure. Don't do that to yourself, Nolan. There are better ways.
Oh, if oh yeah, that is the way to pull a random call. Do you have a horse, Kite? If not, I can pull one. Or I'll have Michael pick one. Sad, that'd be nice. I can see that.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
Well, I will pick a horse. So,
He said,
Um,
who's doing it?
Rambadesh is best
Okay.
pony. Kite. I haven't heard a response, but so somebody give me a pony, any pony. Never been hungover. After I've had too much whiskey, I cook myself a large flank steak, pan fried in salted butter. I eat that, put on a pair of wet socks, and go to sleep. It does sound like a Ron Swanson. All right, so our Ron Swanson thing. So, all right, so we got, it was a marble, or no, that's mod. So we're gonna go mod pie.
Flutterhorse.
Okay, so we got mod pie.
Is the is her shirt like interchangeable, like on and off?
Probably. That's something that most people do.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, dress. Probably not gonna look right though.
I mean, it looks fine.
Without her dress on, she just looks like
Another cute pony.
No, who's her other sister that's kind of gray?
Marble. But Marble was like
maybe something like that. I don't know, it was a dress. I thought it was actually just like a pants thing. Anyway, okay, so we got mod there, and now we're gonna see.
Oh, Kite picked Autumn Blaze.
Did you? Oh, okay, good. I hadn't gotten that far on stuff. Okay, bye mod.
She's cute though. It's all Autumn Blaze. There.
Okay, so we have Autumn Blaze.
She's also cute.
There's Autumn Blaze. Now, let's see if we have her on here.
Be at the very top if it was.
No, they're not alphabetical.
Why not?
I don't think it is.
Paper Trail.
No, they do not have a voice for her.
Just give her Mintium. There you go.
See what that sounds like.
Darling.
I think it needs a more manly. What about Coco?
Manly? Since when was Autumn Blaze manly?
I need more manly. It just sounded really cheeky, and Coco's very manly.
Oh.
Darling, darling, darling.
Oh, that's.
Darling, darling, darling.
We can go with Coco's voice. Okay, so Michael, what do you want her to say?
She's so cute. You could say like get the axe, my biscuits are burning.
See what that sounds like.
Oh, that was a good choice, Michael. Thank you.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Okay, I'm gonna pick somebody else. I need somebody that's a little bit more. No, not Sunburst. That would be really weird.
Paper Trail?
Moon Dancer, Landing Dust. There we go. Well, only 0.7 minutes of content though.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
No?
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe.
I actually like how it's spacing things out more. Probably more like she would actually do. Let's see what this one is.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
That sounds so fakey.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
It's so slow.
My biscuits are burning.
It sounds like somebody was. It's like if Lightning Dust was the main actor in the room. It's what it sounds like.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Okay, well, I'm gonna download that one, but I'm gonna try one more. She's just get the. She just says a lot of. She's taking her time.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
It's weird when she just puts like she's basically G-manning it, where she's like putting emphasis
Just
on.
put height or slashes between each word, and I think it'll make them all talk pretty much quickly.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
That's pretty. I like that
Get
one.
the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
I think I might just stay with the original one I had. So okay, let's grab that as an export. We're gonna let's see, biscuits burning. Oh, I did load a model,
How long site is open?
Captain. How long says open? If you're talking 15 AI, it's been open for a while, but for how long is it going to stay open? That's a tough question. Good luck. Well, I'm thinking it's going to be open for a while.
I think.
I think that's why it took a while. I think he was trying to make it so it could stay open if he was making updates. And thank you for the follow. Is it Elagio? Elagio?
I have no
Thank you for
idea
the
how
follow.
you're gonna animate this to
Why?
anything. Get the axe, my biscuits are burning. It's nonsense.
Okay, so I need.
Whoever came up with that is daft in the head.
Okay, so it is going to crash. So I need to save it and open it up again. Right, Lightning Dust is slow today. She's static dust. Today. What even is supposed to be the context to this SFM? Well, the Autumn Blaze thing is just random, but the context, I don't know, is there context? I don't even know. It's just like they're all saying single words. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna paste this one down here, so I can mute this line.
No, one humorous pony thing I saw today was something from, I think it was TJ Pones. It just had Rainbow Dash holding a turtle. She's like, Twilight, look at this cool rack I found. It's a turtle.
Get the axe.
And that was humorous to me. And adorable.
Okay, so let's Auto Blaze. Let's do. I'm gonna go probably a little cheaper on the lip syncing than even I did before. I'm gonna turn it up a little. Okay. Oh, and this actually is the older version of these, so it's actually more what I'm used to.
You have to go find the comic peak. It's very cute. Check out TJ Pones. He makes great stuff.
Burning Biscuits, is that something from TJ Pones?
No. I was talking about the turtle. Remember the turtle? He
What
remembers the turtle. I was just talking about at length about the amazing turtle story.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening. I was working on something.
I know. That's why it's more fun this way. I'm gonna get another drink. Do you want another drink?
No. If you could just get me fill that with water, that'd be fine.
That's weird. You're weird.
I drank enough last night.
Yeah.
I don't have the wide one that does like the... Oh no, it does have it. Good.
Yeah. Get the axe. Get the axe. The axe.
It's kind of weird to make this work. The timing was a little off there. Just done that.
My
About here. And then we'll just do M. This one had the B sound, I think. Yeah, here it is. Oh, actually, if this is gonna go. Do a little bit there, let that. Just open it here. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit more of that pucker in there. Just do a little bit more B on here. Less grin, more of this. A little bit of pucker. This is a little bit of angry. Close, a little bit of grin. A little bit more of that. Lips down. Where's lips down? There. A little bit of wide in here. Yeah. Okay. And this is gonna go a little bit on the pucker side, like this. And this is going to grin, anger, that. This could be O. I need to put a little frown to get it down.
He really didn't utilize the Kierans enough in the show. They're very cute. They did kind of show them in like the final season that they were kind of starting to integrate in with the rest of society. They weren't hiding up in a mountain no more. Am I wrong?
They had one episode with them. That was about it.
Yeah, well, they were in another episode, or they were in the last episode. Or it showed some Kieran participating in the School of Friendship.
My biscuit.
There were some Kierans in the School of Friendship at the very end. But it made sense, because the Kierans that have essentially kinda were all living inside, like, this valley that was cut off from the rest of Equestria. But they were living in Equestria, I'm pretty sure. Just a part of it that was pretty isolated.
Okay, so a little bit of frown, but one are happy. Okay, this needs to stay a little bit more on the closed side, a little bit more on the forward side. Okay, this needs a little bit more of that white. This one.
It would be pretty cool if G used 5 Kierans. Because they're already, like, the Earth ponies and the Pegasi, and then the unicorns. But Kieran's, they're ponies. A different type of pony. Fire ponies.
Okay.
Are burning! Burning! Get the axe! My biscuits are burning!
Okay, so she's saying her thing. Okay, so now she's gotta have burning biscuits. These biscuits?
That's entirely up to you. Which one of her biscuits are burning?
Well, let's take a look at what we have for options on biscuits. I'm gonna think none. There's a biscuit.
It's a cookie.
There's a biscuit.
Maybe if you're English.
Because what country was Minecraft made in?
Sweden, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Welcome back, Howard. Yeah, there wasn't much in chapter there for a bit. Top 10 reasons why you should cuddle Rainbow Dash. She's cute. She's still cute. She's awesome. She's a pony. She's a Pegasus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you need a list. I think you could pick any one of those, and they probably just summarize all the rest.
I am doing well charging. I'm glad you asked.
Did it crash? Nope, I didn't.
Try typing in no. It's anger bread.
I mean, that's bread.
Mm-hmm. Those are biscuits.
What's bread?
No, up. Around. Those are biscuits.
No, that's bread number 1.
Oh. It's a potato with arms.
No, it's bread.
You say so.
It says bread.
I know what it says, but it looks like a potato.
You go and you tell.
It's rotten bread.
It's burning.
And those are bread.
It's burnt.
Yep.
No, you go tell Gabe that he was wrong.
I feel like that bread should just be held by another Kieran that's on fire, and she needs the axe to kill it. Pretty awful.
I have a feeling that none of these are going to open. Let's do this one. This is how you make bread.
Probably cook bread in that. The oven part. You ever make non-baked cookies? They cook those on the stovetop. That's a big biscuit. Now, I want to make biscuits and gravy, but they're really bad for you. But at the same time, I have been making waffles every weekend, and they're not good for you either.
I don't know. Last weekend you didn't make waffles.
Those were delicious apple cinnamon waffles.
They weren't waffles. They were mush.
They were tasty. They were tasty.
They were mush.
They were tasty mush. They were an attempt at waffles with apples and cinnamon. But I didn't really measure things out or look at anything. I just kind of like, waffles, apples, cinnamon, boom. I did it. And the last one kind of came out pretty decent. It was only a little, like, misshapen.
Is it this one? I think that's the one I have to shut off.
You passed all... Oh, hey, I passed my Class A call written test. I know. I now have a permit.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Is there any other parts you have to do, or is that kind of it? Or is there... I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, I gotta shut off, I think, both of these.
I remember having to take my driver's license test again when I moved here to Minnesota. And that was nerve-wracking. Because you think you know what's going to be on the test, because you know you drive for a decade, and then they throw curveballs at you. Did you know you're not supposed to run over kids? It's crazy.
It is kind of crazy how much they expect people to willingly appreciate the lives of others and not run them over.
Yeah, but it's fun though. Kids are extra points. No.
Get the
She just likes watching the fire. To go pyromaniac.
My biscuits are burning!
I could make biscuits, but I don't have any milk. Do I? Maybe? I don't think I have any evaporated milk. I'm thinking out loud.
Get the axe! My biscuits are burning!
It sounds like Applejack, but with whose voice did you use?
Lightning dust.
Lightning Dust.
Get the axe! Get
I did like that one website I found that made any character in 15 AI Australian. That was a pretty good find. Well, if I have one wish in G5, it's that Kieran's get introduced earlier into the show.
Get the axe!
'Cause they're
Axe!
No, that's not what
Get
she's
the axe.
saying, Silver. She's a
My
good
biscuit.
pony. She wouldn't
Get
say
the axe!
it's like
My-
butt and batuti.
My bis...
Or what other word? What other words are there for ass?
Axe! My bis... My...
Focus.
Bis...
A lot of words in the English language for butt.
God, which is the flame that's right there? That's just don't. It's bugging the crap out of me. It's this weird sideways one right here. Is it this one? No. That's the one coming out the top, and I can see that. It's coming out the top. And I swear I disabled this one. Just going to delete it instead. Okay, that's gone. Is it under one of the glows? Oh, it is. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's much better.
Booty, buns, biscuits, butt, rear, and Alfredo. Alfredo is another word for butt.
There's no manslaughter without laughter. I've heard that one before.
Axe!
Yes.
Get the axe! My bis...
Everyone loves a man's laughter.
Get the axe! My bis...
Another
Get
voice of
the
butt.
axe!
Voice of a grumpy old man.
Axe! My...
Not just your voice.
Okay, this is just like so. I blame the parents feeding their children junk food, and kids these days full of their saturated fats and preservatives really mess with the taste. Back in my day, we just used to go on down to the convenience store, and there would be this dude there who would just have a big old vat of fat. And we would just reach our hand into that fat and would scoop ourselves out some, and we'd take it home to our mom, and and she would like mix it with honey and kisses, and then we would eat the fat. Just the fat.
The axe.
And that's because that's where the flavor was. And sure, most of us died in our early 20s.
Get the axe.
Those who survived, those were the tough ones.
You said mom.
Yeah.
Do you think an old man would say mom?
Mama.
When you say mother.
No, he's... These old men.
My
My
biscuits
mama
are
would make that big old tub of pickles.
My biscuits
And we would
are
eat the pickles, all the pickles in the tub, and we were allowed to leave the table. All the pickles were eaten. We lost some good people that day. Flashbacks, but it's just the pictures of pickles. Said like Vietnam. Just gherkins.
biscuits.
Silver, no. Oh, how are you doing, Argo?
Everyone asks, who is Argo? But no one asks, how is Argo? How is Argo doing?
How are you doing?
Oh, you're making him say it.
Yes, they're making me care about your day.
My biscuits are burnt. My biscuits.
Yeah. I'm doing good myself. It was a kind of a busy day. My parents visited and everything, but other than that, it was.
Are burnt.
Got free lunch.
Yep, got a free lunch. I mean, it's kind of at a cheap place, but free lunch is free lunch. That was a good day. Overall, so. I hope Silver's doing good. How's Silver doing?
Yes. How is Silver doing? Good as that horse? Oh, that horse. That horse is amazing. The biscuits
Get
are
the
on
axe.
fire.
My biscuits are burning. My biscuits are burning.
You're
Burning.
doing.
Get the axe.
Well, you gotta do better than that. No. Cryptic Fluttershy. Wait, why is Derpy getting involved? Action Derpy.
It's just Derpy Hooves.
My biscuits are burning.
I'm gonna put this down a little bit, like here.
You know how I feel right now? I feel
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Burning.
And I never felt as good as how I do right now. Yes, I never felt as good as how I felt that way. When I felt that day, that I felt the way that I do right now. Right now. It's a song. Jonathan Colton. Go look it up. Also Derpy.
There, put a little nose.
Work was beans. Now I have to watch 3-hour video on computer programming basics.
Ooh, fun. Okay, and then we're just gonna do some quick animating on this. So this is so we're on this.
Get the axe. Get the axe. Get the axe. Get the axe.
Super cheap on some of this.
Get the axe. Get the axe.
Are you working a relatively new job, Silver, or is your job just suddenly requiring you to know computer programming?
She's going to school for it.
Huh?
Get the axe!
It sounds like a hoot and a holler.
Get the axe! Get the axe! Get the axe!
I went into electrical engineering. So the only real programming I learned in school. We did learn Java, but it was meh. And I did learn programming logic controllers, which is a fair bit different.
Get the axe! The axe!
Of course, that was 100 years ago. So,
That is how old he is.
The
it's
axe!
true.
The axe! Get the axe! My biscuits are burnt! Biscuits!
I enjoyed my classes when they actually had something to do with
Biscuits are
the field I was going into. When I had to do a lot of the remedials, especially like I had to take some sort of English class or something. I was just happy to pass and then move on. Did not care.
My biscuits are...
I didn't mind generals, but I just got sick of them. But I did them all before ever getting into the technical stuff, and so that really sucked because it ends up being that you're spending all of your time doing the technical stuff, which is the fun stuff, but then it's almost too much.
My biscuits...
Mine was different. They kind of mixed them in.
My biscuits...
But,
Well, I went to a community college and doing generals,
yeah,
so that was my sole focus.
My
makes
biscuits...
So that it was my planning just made it work out that way.
yeah.
My biscuits...
Yeah, Silver, I learned Java, but that was really it, besides programming logic controllers, which is very different. But then again, I went to school for electrical engineering. You're probably going to school for programming.
Are burnt at the axe! My biscuits
sense.
are burning!
Mine was a lot more applied physics and
Burning!
digital and analog classes, which is just called digital and analog 1 and 2.
Ooh, it's a right rotation type. That's not what I wanted. Oh, pelvis, there we go.
Jokes, she wants to eat that biscuit. It's a little on fire.
It's fine, should be fine.
You know, she does catch fire sometimes. She's kind of used to it.
Burning!
Very just so floppy, I love it.
She went down a little too much. He needs to go down. I did a local rotation, so it's just rotating faster than I actually want.
Burning!
Armoring?
Okay, so then she's oh, I think I moved Derpy's leg. She's not gonna move.
Burning!
Okay, and then where's her head? She's gonna go down like this.
Burning! Are
You're doing okay
burning!
there, Sunset. You were posting like the cryptic Fluttershy. Where'd you even get that thing? I bet it's still like all burnt on the outside, but it's still gooey inside.
Probably. I don't know what good it would.
That-
It'll probably still be fine. Might be a little dry on some. But
Like, take a butter knife and just kind of scrape off the crust.
Burning!
That's gonna be good in there.
Burning!
Oh, Fluttershy just has a knife.
Get the axe! My
see, I
biscuits are
see.
burning! Axe! My
It's from
the axe.
AZG. Ah.
My biscuits biscuits.
Okay, so she got a little
Get
more
the
life.
axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Okay, so we can take.
My biscuits are burning.
We need to probably zoom in a little. That was the wrong camera. Gonna zoom in low. Like that, and we're gonna keep Derpy over here.
Just having Derpy in the shot makes the shot a lot better.
I'm gonna close her wings. Like there, gonna close wings. Set our focus to about there. Up. That is, well, it's a biscuit, not a biscuits, but that is fine. The camera is gonna.
My biscuits. Oh, it's my biscuits. Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Are burning.
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 I'm so dumb. But they're cute horses, so it's good. Too bad Warhorse isn't here. He'd be freaking out. Pretty standard X. Wait. That doesn't look good.
It's okay.
This is good. It's looking there like you're gonna murder. No murder. No, leave Autumn alone. She's a cute pony. I like it when she sings. No. This is evil now. You're evil.
Well, guess who's doing it?
It's you.
No.
You're doing it. I didn't decide for this to happen.
No, like,
My biscuits are burning. My biscuits are burning.
Wait, are you gonna have Derpy just lob an axe at your head? That's dark. I don't like this. It's upsetting. Maybe have Derpy stab the biscuit, not the horse. No. No. I'm sad. I'm very sad. No, Derpy, that's murder. It's illegal in some states. Yes. Oh, it's... Oh. I'm sad. I don't like seeing horses get hurt.
well, and you shouldn't have had Derpy do it.
I don't remember doing this at all.
Burning.
You just... Why are you like this?
Are burning.
Like... Oh, that's like...
Hey, you were the one that was like, hey, we need an axe.
Yeah, but to, like, save the biscuits, not murder the horse.
She's not being murdered.
That's worse. It's something out of, like, Hannibal Lecter.
Well, is she being eaten?
She's having the axe put into her brain.
Yeah.
It's like nightmare fuel. No, I got a voice impression. Derpy's voice. No, I'm the cute, clumsy one. Like Derpy said, no, I'm the cute, clumsy one. There, that did it. She is the cute, clumsy one. But she's not murdery. Be better off if she did die, because then now it's just suffering. It's unsettling. I just don't know what went wrong. Axe noises. Oh. A second. Why are you gonna murder cute horses?
Because you wanted me
It
to.
would be one thing if it was a stallion, but this.
Only because you wanted me to.
I don't want this at all. Warhorse is gonna be very upset.
Oh, darn.
Oh darn. Michael supports stallion murder.
Oh, yeah, I love this. I think my favorite part right now.
Burnin'!
Wave.
Burnin'!
I just gotta play with the fire because it's a little big for.
This is like, how does this not hurt you? Like, do you?
Because I find it entertaining. Your pain just brings me so much joy.
This is very painful.
Burnin'!
No.
Get the axe! My biscuits
Vinegar
are
gets that.
burnin'!
Maybe slap her with some flowers or something. That'd be fun, right?
My biscuits are burnin'!
And I wonder if I can take the camera here
Burnin'!
and, like, right when it happens, just have the camera kind of like
I thought it was a rock. No.
Burnin'!
This is axe in her head.
no.
This hurts. You made. This is made for YouTube shorts.
That was Mars. Yeah, actually, I've been I wanted to start doing more of those because I can do them in like what 30 minutes. I can make like a YouTube short. The problem with YouTube shorts is they're vertical, and I am utilizing much different area. Like right now, Derpy is off to the side. I wouldn't be able to do that with an actual YouTube short because I don't have.
The axe!
I mean, I could cut it to like just like like show like this.
My biscuits are burning! Get
That
the
would
axe!
be better. Instead
My
of shoving the
biscuits
axe in
are
the palm of his
burning!
head.
Okay, so I reloaded that so that I could.
My biscuits are burning!
I think we're gonna.
Apples.
Load in that. This is gonna be very low volume though, like 0.2. Okay, and get that beginning of that shot. I don't even know where it ends because the bookmarks aren't matching it. Okay, put it there.
Get the axe! My
Okay, this is still too loud. 0.1.
Get the axe!
That's better. Okay, and we need So I figure a chainsaw buzzsaw. It's not going to. We need.
Distressed.
I like that one.
I don't like any of them.
This one's pretty good.
The record.
My biscuits are burning!
It's not funny. It's brain
Get the axe.
damage.
My
Brain
biscuits
damage
are
is not
burning!
It's so stupid. It's so good.
Sadness. Poor pony. No, it's not. It's not hilarious.
Okay, this save's good. Okay, so I'm separating that because of I wanted to play with the lighting on it. So where's this light? I think it is nowhere. It's over there. I don't even think that's needed.
No, don't make it worse than it is, Nolan.
Can you make her eye go derpy after the... No, if I want her eyes to actually go kooky, that's... Derpy's eyes are kooky because they are textured to be off-center. It'd be very... I can't do that with her eyes without redirecting them to Derpy's eyes, and they're just not built to do that, so...
Get the axe!
Autumn Blaze. I'm like kind of tore up right now.
She's fine. She didn't fall over dead.
No, it's worse. She's gonna like live the rest of her life with brain damage.
Get
She
the
just
axe.
keep the axe in
My
there.
My
better if
biscuits
she was
are
dead.
burning! Get the axe!
Yeah, if I were to do this as a YouTube short, what it would end up being, and so I put some effort into this.
Love to have.
It is... Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Sneak video ideas done. Well, no, I do want to do more short stuff. I don't know if I'll put the banana one as a short. That one was like, I mean, I guess I could. That one actually would work really well for it.
It's just focused on one character.
I had put some effort into this before.
We need like
For it to pop up here.
get like a fondue fountain for over here,
Why?
just so that we can have fondue while you stream. You
No.
don't think that's a good idea?
No, because it sounds like a mess.
No, only if you make a mess. That'd be on you. Think of it. All the cheese and streaming. I think it's
Where is...
that poor Autumn.
Where's...
You should fondue it. Yes. Yes, silver. I agree. I've never had fondue, but it looks tasty. Fondue. Like, because chocolate is meh. I'm not really a big chocolate fan, but cheese. Cheese is delicious.
What do they mean? Oh, phone overlay. Oh. Durr.
No, now I'm just thinking of that horrible scene from that, what was it? Tucker versus the Forces of Evil, or Dale and Tucker versus the Forces of Evil. That's what's in my head right now.
Okay. So for phone, this line right here dictates what is within the 16:9 aspect ratio. So, I went and put this together for doing YouTube shorts so that I can determine where to position things.
There's no good place to position this one.
Hmm?
There's really no good place to position this one, I don't think.
Um, yeah, because if I were to like move the camera over, I mean, I could do it like this.
It's so weird that they force it into that aspect ratio.
Because it's TikTok. It's YouTube TikTok is all it is.
Get the axe!
So, but I can do something like this where I do copy, paste, paste. Yeah, I can do paste, paste. Let's do that. And we'll... And then we'll cut this right here. Switch that out. This to like here.
My biscuit!
And then for this, we'll just move the camera to there.
My biscuits are...
And then...
My biscuit...
And you know what? I bet you I could... Maybe I don't even need Derpy.
Wow. That is a statement.
Yeah, but you'd be fine with that, right?
Well, considering you have her committing, like, horrible assault.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
Get
bit.
the axe! My
I'm okay
biscuits
with
are
her
burning!
not being the one committing the horrible assault.
She's not committing horrible assault.
She's fixing someone's head.
Burning!
I have to redo the camera for this.
Burning!
I can't zoom in too much.
Burning!
Yeah, I think vertical on video stuff is just horrid.
It is pretty
Burning!
awful. People need to just learn to turn their phones
Because I can't zoom in too much without it cutting off edge stuff. It just is so. That's one thing I do not like about YouTube Shorts.
Burning!
I can always just do like this and then
Burning!
like that maybe.
Get the axe! My biscuits are burning! Burning!
Yeah, I mean that kind of works. Maybe. And then the only way to also make it work is I have to render this in 4K so that I can because at 4K it's 2160 high, and since normal 1080 is or yes, 2160 high and normal 1080 would still allow me to crop it all down and put it in 1080 and still be, or make it 1080 tall, or no, 1920 tall, because 1920 is within within 2160. So
You haven't even touched the water I brought you.
yeah, because I haven't needed to.
It doesn't taste good or have alcohol in it.
No, it's
I bet if it had alcohol in it, you'd drink it.
No, I just haven't had a need for thirst right now. See, now I'm doing it.
Alcoholism.
What'd you put in it?
What do you mean?
You seem to be desperate for me to try it.
It's water. I'm just like trying to emphasize your dislike of water.
Vertical is trash. Yeah, it is. And thank you for the follow, Small Horse fan. Hip 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 hooray.
Pip pip hooray. If only she was the actual good princess, right?
She's so small.
She's small.
Biscuits.
But Zip is the good princess. He knows about the poison Michael aboard. Oh no.
Okay, and then we'll just make a couple fancy other lights. One thing I don't like about what she's using right now for stuff is that it has this big pole coming across, but yeah, I don't care enough. I'm just gonna do a little.
Pony's gonna need so many kisses and hugs. To fix that.
My biscuits are burning.
I feel like you're like there's gonna be like a community outreach to get you to animate a new video that shows that she's okay.
Nope.
Just like a big old band-aid.
Won't happen because there's no ending. This is the death that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend.
Some people started murdering, not knowing how it ended.
You started that and had no idea where to go with it.
Yeah. Some people started murdering, not knowing how to stop. Then they continued murdering forever. Lop, lop, lop.
Yeah, okay.
This is the murdering that never ends.
See,
And
you
it
want it
goes
to go on
on
forever.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Go.
It hurts me every time.
Alright, so then I can keep the grass and stuff. I really don't care about anything in the background being of detail. Can I just get rid of the grass? Yeah, who cares? That stuff needs to stay. The lights can stay. All this other Twilight Sparkle army thing can go. What am I running at for preview?
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
I was trying to see, could I render it right now? And how long would it take? At 4K? Actually, it wouldn't take that long. We're gonna see.
Can I render it right now?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Well, we have to entertain the chat while it renders, so we'll start dancing. Yeah, get ready.
Like, I actually forgot what I was doing because you're hurting my brain.
You gotta join in.
It's not dancing, that's just flailing.
That's what dancing is. Okay, I gotta do the YMCA apparently. I gotta stay in camera. YMCA. Come on and everybody do the YMCA. Gotta do it.
He's
right
drinking
now.
a lot.
No, I'm actually completely sober.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. I've had 2 drinks. Gotta do the YMCA. Yeah, I'm gonna do it scrunched up in the camera though.
Okay, so let's see how long this takes to render. So I'm writing a folder that it will go into, and then the name of the file with an underscore at the end, because an image sequence is going to create numbers at the end, and I don't want it to be confusing. Well, the other thing is I'm going to shut off motion blur. With a lot of this stuff, I actually find it better to just remove it.
I agree, Sunset.
Well, you know what? This might work better with it because of the axe. I don't think it would look right without it. So we'll keep it on. What is... Okay. We'll see how long it takes. Oh, not that long.
It's gonna take a bit. So
No,
again,
it's 30 frames and it's already 10 in. So
tell us a story, Mr.
this
Argo.
is sober behavior. For God's sake, someone get this man a beer. He doesn't drink beer.
I do occasionally. Should the opportunity arise.
Well, the eyes are maybe going to be a little goofy. A story.
Yes.
Tell
Tell us a story.
I don't know. Like a story about what? Oh,
Anything.
her. Oh, you know what? Hold on. We got to cancel it. Your ears are being goofy.
So they're being floopy.
They're being that. No, not the good floofy.
Floopy.
I can actually delete derpy, and this will make it run a little better.
Oh no.
It's fine. Now we know she's not doing any of the murder.
I guess. There once was a man from Kentucky.
Get the axe!
Oh. Went out of town to get lucky. He bought a cigar and went to a bar and started to do the something. I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything that wasn't lewd.
The axe! My biscuits are burning! My biscuits are burning!
Noise.
That
There once was a mayor in the mountains who made biscuits that were
They're burning!
by a fountain. They started to burn. That's when she learned that axes are sharp. But she forgot them. Because of the brain injury. Sadness. Oh.
okay. I'm gonna turn off motion blur. SFM's implementation of motion blur is a bunch of crap. Oh, I need to set this to 4K. That's why it was going so quick. Ghosted first frame. Oh, so there is. It was 4.5 seconds, I think, and at 30 frames each, you're talking 135 to 140 frames. So depends on here. I think the motion blur is okay until it makes contact with her head. Yeah, and so you're going to be losing a lot of the left and right, and because of that, the motion blur was important to try to potentially give it a frame extra that you could see it coming into frame. Without it, motion just looks super choppy, and with how fast it was moving, I'm afraid it wouldn't work. But SFM's motion blur is absolutely horrible and doesn't. I felt it used to be better, but I'm thinking that the next version of the software will actually work. Your eyes actually closed. Well, that's actually nifty. That's half the work I'd have to do in any post stuff. Michael, how do you know if you have a head injury?
I would.
How would you know if your head is injured?
I would think you would. See, that would depend on the severity of the head injury, wouldn't it?
A lot of people with concussions don't think they have a concussion because after any event like that, you're probably going to be thinking like
The issue with the concussion
the bleeding, maybe.
Well, like I think some people, it would depend on the type of head injury, I'd imagine.
Like you lost your head.
Then you wouldn't know.
No, you have like probably 3 to 4 seconds to live.
You probably wouldn't know what happened in that period of time, and you'd be in shock.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember what the amount of time is. If you have your head severed, how long it takes for your brain to run out of oxygen. I think it was only seconds.
You would be in shock even before then, though. You wouldn't be dead right away, but you would be in shock immediately.
Well, where does shock happen? I thought it was in your heart.
Like this shock to the system.
But you only have there's not much left of your system. Your brain's kind of like
I think you would black out almost immediately. Pretty much immediately.
Well, no, because you can't feel pain from anywhere other than your neck.
Yeah, but you would still black out just from the shock to the system.
But you have no system.
You still have.
It's like if you have a
the brain.
If you have a toothache and they pull the tooth, the pain's gone because you remove the tooth.
You black out because of stuff happening up here.
Yeah, doesn't mean there's no more blood. That's. Hello, Jubbly. I'm glad I caught the stream. It's been rough. Horses always make me at least a little better. Keep up the amazing work. Well,
you might want to run away.
Yeah, we are kind of doing a.
He's a bad person.
But we made a really quick, stupid thing, and we're just rendering it out.
Don't put we in this.
The audio was your idea.
Yes, but not the ending. The ending was you.
Mm-hmm. It was the plan from the beginning.
That's horrible. I thought you're like bringing the axe and they would stab the biscuit or something.
No, but then that's cute, and that's not funny.
It's cute.
Aggressive is cute.
Only when it's like against things that aren't cute.
Bro, I'm the one who suggested Cozy Glow is buried in the back of previous animation at the red. She's still there, actually. I never removed her. She's gonna stay in there all the way to final.
No, that's funny. Because she's not like actively being like assaulted.
Well, a little salt after getting hit in the head with the axe might, it tastes good.
Burn.
Gotta preserve the meat.
Ugh. Brain injury stuff.
That's what happens.
Freaks me out.
Salt. I love salt. Salt is one of my favorite seasonings. I mean, for good reason, but I just love salt.
Is it? I guess it's a seasoning.
It's
kind of its own thing.
I would say it's a seasoning, but it's
It's a rock.
Well, yeah, I think it's a seasoning, but it's so used in everything that we almost see it as something else.
Well, we kind of do need it. At least some salt in our diet. It's more of like a necessary bit of nutrition.
Cozy Glow is Smold Hitler. Yeah, actually. Only thing I'm concerned about with this, I don't think the audio is going to time up right, and it's always off, but I don't think I care enough. That face.
It's an adorable face.
It's in like 20 seconds is going to be even more adorable. The lightings have got the ears on the smile apparently don't have some of the smoothing done or something. You get to see actually, you know what? It's probably the sunlight that I have has that really sharp value for some of that, and I'm guessing it's just what's causing it. The low value in the shadows. So do you do lip sync manually, or do you fight with V6's phonemes? No, I do not do phonemes. Actually, we just had a conversation about that earlier. I do not like using phonemes. I do it all manually. I have kind of a fast method and then the more detailed methodical method. So like for a lot of this stuff, we just do I'll just do a 5-10 minute pass for just getting it done. But no, I used to do the phonemes, but I would use it as a base, and then I would try to add on top of that. But even then, it feels like you're fighting and redoing stuff more than anything. It's just not worth it.
Sadness. So much sadness.
She knows what's going on. She's like, oh. She just remembered she left the oven on.
It's because her brain just got injured.
It's right in front of her too. I like that face. That's a good face. Coming, there's no escape. Axis is coming. It's the new what was that show? The Winter is Coming reference.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that show. Never saw it.
Me neither.
Don't want to.
Me neither. I heard it didn't really end properly or something. Like they weren't done writing the book, so they just kind of made up their own ending or something. I don't know.
I did watch the last, the rest of Book of Boba Fett, and kind of glad I did, because they're crossing the universes from Mandalorian and everything. Yeah. So it's the last two have really nothing to do with Boba Fett, but it was really good. And they have some new CG for bringing old characters back, and it is some of the best CG. I cannot tell that isn't the person. Yeah. It is so, the deep fake is so good. All right, let's open up After Effects. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about the last two is it just felt like Mandalorian again. It didn't feel like Book of Boba Fett in any way. I could see where they're going with it, but Luke was so good. That was apparently they think that there's a YouTube guy that had some really good content with that, and they think that they actually brought him on to do some of that. It was so good. Okay, so there's Banana Jim. We're gonna load up our burning biscuits.
I was waiting. Get so much blowback.
No, I had before. Like I had. You're the one that wanted to put Scootaloo in a goddamn blender.
Was funny.
Oh, I didn't do I forgot to export the audio.
Because we didn't see the blade enter her head. It danced around. That was cute. This is murder.
This is Wood Impact Hard 4. This is the better way to do it for audio anyway, but it's annoying. I just forgot to check the box for export audio.
Like, if Scootaloo bouncing around in the blender is adorable, Scootaloo in the blender screaming as she gets, like, hacked to pieces would be significantly less adorable.
Just cut out. The fire goes the whole thing. Oh, it's cutting off around here. Guess I can.
The lights just. Thought the light flickered there for a second.
So there's the fire done. Impact is going to be like over here. And this one is probably going to be like around here. Let's see how that's going.
Get the axe!
Okay. I need it to start right around here.
Get the axe! My biscuits are good.
Oh yeah, so it's going to start getting deep.
Biscuits are burning!
Oh, let me see if I can I can usually fix that again. Okay, here.
Get the axe! My biscuits are...
I have no idea what she just said. Okay.
Get the axe! My biscuits...
Love it.
Get the axe! My biscuits are burning!
So I need it right about here.
Are burning!
Okay, I could probably drop the volume on that by like 5. Okay, and now I need to composition settings. We're gonna go to 1080 by 1920.
Get the axe! My biscuits are burning!
Okay, so I think that I wonder if I can... this a little bit to this way when she turns.
The axe! Get the axe!
This thing about
The axe!
doing it this method.
Get the axe!
Gonna round those a little bit.
Get the axe! My biscuits are burning!
No.
Get the axe! My biscuits...
There.
Get the... the axe.
So now the only other thing I need to worry about is timing of the audio. So her mouth opens right here, but I can see that she doesn't actually start talking till there. So I'm gonna move that. Okay, that looks correct.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Okay, so I think well, you know what? No. Actually, I'm not done yet. So we need Nope, I forgot. There's the two quick things I need to add. So one is to make colored ponies more colorful, and the other is to just level it a little bit. So we're going to just increase the contrast ever so slightly and make it a little brighter. Let me make sure that worked. Enhanced it. Sure, probably bring it in a little bit. No, we'll keep it there. And then pump up that vibrance. We want to have it look eye-popping on the color. It's supposed to look like Candyland exploded.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
You know what? I might just delete these, I think.
The audio.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning.
Okay, now we're all good. So good. Yeah, sorry that. Was looking up beheading. Consciousness seems to last up to 30 seconds. Oh wow, that's actually longer than I thought. You render out images rather than a full video file. Yeah. So the main reason is the video file, the MP or the H.264 encoder that's built into SFM is really bad. The blacks are super washed out. It's just not that good. Also, if you're going to do any color correction and editing, doing it on a compressed file, especially a bad codec version of it, you're just going to enhance those imperfections more. Where if you do an image sequence, you're getting it's lossless essentially. Every frame is from one frame to another. There's no compression trying to figure things out or anything. It's just much cleaner. And I've been doing that way for probably 7 or 8 years now. It definitely takes up more space for stuff, but it's just better. You can render as AVI and stuff. It still doesn't look as good though. And if it crashes some way through and it's on a video file, the whole video file is lost. You cannot recover any of it. But if you do an image sequence, I can just go to the beginning of the preview or the current shot I'm in and restart from the beginning of that shot, and I'm good. So for big renders, it's also like a time saver. Oh, I didn't. That's why it probably also looks a little off. I need to zoom her in a little. There. There.
Get the axe. My biscuits are burning. Get the axe.
Okay. Argonautan style, cute and cruel. I like this. I like stupid and unexpected, and murder is always unexpected.
So sad though.
Okay, so I want to use the original audio or the original version. Wait, I'm gonna go double check. So 1080, flip it. The one thing that does suck with shorts though is I cannot do it on PC. As far as I can tell, I have to actually transfer it to my phone, which is kind of goofy. I think you might be able to do it on PC, but then it doesn't fall under shorts. It's just a vertical video. So, whatever. Put in extras. Burning biscuits. There we go. Save that. I don't think I need to poke at anything else there. We're gonna switch it to CUDA. No, I don't want GPU acceleration software only.
Broke and then deleted. It's gone forever.
What'd you do to it, Michael?
Breaking it with my mind.
Mind
powers. Did it work? Did I break it with my mind powers?
My biscuits are burning.
Make sure it's working.
Get the axe! My biscuits are burning!
So bad.
So I'm gonna work on sending that to my phone, and I can deal with that later. So, but there, you saw the whole process for post, which is not that bad, except for oftentimes if I'm having to do a larger video, I have to go and do a lot of correction on the renders. Like eyes don't work correctly on some of the models, and lighting suddenly flickers at some point, and I couldn't figure out why, and I figure out the one, and then I gotta fix that. So
I'm gonna use the restroom.
okay,
I'm gonna go cry into the sink.
but like
No.
wait, no,
No.
Biscuits are burning!
She's so happy. They're so happy.
well, they need an audience. It's to cheer her on. Turn that off. Move this back to this camera and move this to the WTF folder, and we're all caught back to normal.
Books!
You know, they're just doing books.
Apples, darling, books!
Okay, well, that was a distraction. Cart. Anyway, yeah, I'll have that up. I don't like releasing videos in the evening, so I'll probably just like schedule it for the morning.
Books, books, books. Books, books, books. Apples, darling, books. Books.
The lighting between these two is so different.
Apples,
Okay, so now we need to have Apple do her thing. So I'm gonna move her hair to actually be in the correct position.
apples, apples.
All right, so this one actually should be pretty easy. Well, kind of. It's the one thing I don't like about having this angle thing is it's just kind of difficult to get her to bend correctly. Because how do I want her to dip? Because I need to have her go kind of. She saw a squirrel. She got agitated. It's too much. It has to be ever so subtle.
Apples, 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 apples.
Okay, actually more.
Apples, 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 apples.
That should work. But I am going to turn her a little bit that way.
Apples, apples.
There we go. And then fix her. I don't need to fix her leg, but it just bugs me. There. Dang, if I knew posting YouTube Shorts was so difficult, I wouldn't have suggested it. No, that's actually normal videos. The only thing that's more complicated about it is I have to email it to myself. They're all like within a limit for emails. That's fine. I just email it to myself, open it on my phone, save it, and then load it on my phone. And then once it's there, I can then go into the YouTube app or the YouTube studio on PC and poke at it. I don't know why the shorts are set up that way. I can understand you want to have the tools that are there to do it on whatever. I just haven't found, unless there's a way I don't know how to, but there's no checkbox for short. Once it's actually on there and you're poking at it, it looks like a normal video, but it's in the background a short. Of course, someone's ringing the doorbell. If it watch out, it might be a tractor.
Oh no. I did tractors to attack. Man, trying to think. It's been a while since we made a video where ponies don't die.
Yeah, it has. Well, even my most popular video is about death.
Well, yeah, but that's them coming back to life. That's a video about life.
Apples, darling. Apples, darling. Apples.
At least this one won't have any death, right? Like,
Do you want?
No, I don't want there to be death.
Apples,
This happiness, happy
apples,
cuteness.
darling. Apples.
It's also just ending it with like having like Applejack explode.
You're tempting me.
Shouldn't do
Apples.
that.
Apples. Apples. Apples.
Just bursts into flames and falls over dead. No reason, no rhyme. I'm thinking about it, but I really hope that that be the case.
Apples.
The eyes go down a little bit. A little bit more.
Apples. 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 Apples.
Okay, and
No, Derpy's fine. She got exploded, but she's fine.
I need everything up through. I'm gonna say here. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that, and then we're gonna stretch it back to here.
Apples.
Because I want to have her having some motion, and I don't care what it is.
Apples.
So.
Books. Apples. Darling. Books.
It's the best part.
Yes,
Apples. Darling. Books.
I agree.
Apples.
Okay, I want to have her start with kind of a smile, so I need to have her transition to a more standard face look before the end of the shot.
Books. Books.
Derpy is Dorp mortal. Whenever you look away, she popped back into existence. I believe it.
Books.
You can't keep a good Derpy down.
Books.
Where's your pet?
It's a good thing Kieran's have like Wolverine powers and they just regenerate. I also wouldn't believe that right now. That Kieran's have like Wolverine powers and they can just regenerate when they get hurt.
Apples. Darling. Books.
I need to maintain this headcanon
Books.
so as not to be traumatized by your video.
Books. Apples. Darling. Books.
Doesn't get old.
It's good.
Derpy is dirt mortal. Whenever you look away, she's popped back into existence. Yeah, that's a whole theory of existence. Yeah, actually, you have that, but it's the opposite. She only exists when you're not looking. And as soon as you look, she disappears. So Derpy is real, but you'll never see her.
That is torture.
Mm-hmm. And it's if you every time you close her eyes, her snoot's only an inch from your finger.
It's to be moved, but you can never move. Because she goes out of existence the second you try.
I did some of these others. So I'm not too happy with the lighting right now on this because there's nothing on her face. But I'm wondering if that's okay.
It's just the way the sun's coming from. I mean, if you don't want to change the lighting too much from shot to shot.
Oh no, I can change the shit out of it.
Yeah,
Nobody
but
ever notices.
So that the sun is like moved in the sky since the last scene. It wouldn't look right.
I don't think you realize how much people don't pay attention to shit. It's kind of creepy.
How much people don't pay attention to the lighting?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then why would you put so much time into it if nobody's paying attention?
It's about making it look nice, but continuity is not that important. a little more.
Kind of like the idea of having the light shifts ever so slightly to make it look like the light through the trees, or is kind of, you know how like you'll see me under a tree and the wind will be blowing and the shadow from the leaves just kind of shift. It's a very tranquil kind of scene.
I think I'm just gonna keep it where it was, because this light part up here is not gonna work right. But it's like I've shown examples in other videos where the lighting is completely different from one shot to another, even though the same character's in the shot. Nobody notices. As long as the overall look of it is fine and you're not making it obvious, it's usually a minor thing.
Apples, darling.
Yeah.
Okay, so this I can probably mark that. Look at that, just got 2 shots in yellow.
Apples, darling.
The hard shots are going to be the ones where you just have them all chatting.
No, not really. For a lot of that is I go to previous videos I've done before that have people doing random motions, and I just copy that and I shove it in there.
I kind of think of the one Alishai video you did with they were all talking in the barn.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It's all the exact same animation that I use for me talking in my 10,000 subscriber special. And I just took chunks of that and I moved it between characters. I didn't care. It was just about making them look like they're doing something. Okay, so this needs to go away. Okay.
Darling, books. Apples, darling, books.
I think she's still a little
Darling, books.
delayed on saying books.
Darling, books. Apples, darling, books. Apples, darling, books. Apples, darling, books. Books.
Books.
Books.
Okay.
Apples, darling, books. Apples, darling, books.
Okay, that apparently the audio moved fine. So many random things in here. I gotta move everything over.
Darling, books. Darling, books. Books. Apples, darling, books. Books. Apples, darling.
Do I need to do any more?
Darling.
Nope, that's basically all I would really need to do for her. So, in this shot, oh, it's got all the characters. I don't need all the characters.
I'm only seeing 2 characters.
No, I have all of them in the background, and they all eat up processing.
Darling.
I don't think I can see a sky. It's behind her head. So because of such, I am still going to treat it as if I can and just bring in the sky. Because if she turns her head just right, it probably will pop in. Books? Oh, Soul Kitty.
Books. Yes, hello.
Okay, so Rarity. This is actually not kind of done because Rarity still has to do a thing, and she is just staring
deeply into Applejack.
Yeah, we need to churn her so that she is not doing that. Oh.
Now you just see hair.
Yeah. Which is fine. But it means I gotta kind of like jam it in here.
Apples.
But I really wish I could see something of her.
Shift her over a little bit down there.
Yeah, I think like that will work as long as it's visible ever so slightly. Some of these zooms though, yeah, these are not. These don't have the right depth of field. This one is correct. She's out of focus, but it's a wider angle, so it's fine. This one's fine. This one is not. So now it's a bigger zoom. So I should have an aperture that makes Applejack much more out of focus. More like. Let's do that.
Apples.
This one should be most of the way up. Oh no. This one must be much more zoomed. We'll do that. And we'll do that.
Books.
So I think that's much better.
Apples.
I just love her.
Apples.
Yeah, apples.
She's so excited about it.
She's
thinking apples.
That moment when you think of it. Do you like a peach? Apples.
Peach.
It's just like.
What about apple?
I want plum. It's like, no. What is plum?
All around me are familiar apples. Worn out apples. Hello, teacher. Tell me what's a plum. Looks right through me. She's not an apple.
This is deep.
Apples.
The sunset. Nobody there. I think one of the neighbors hit the bell down at the end of the hall alley. Ah.
Darling. Books.
Listen to her go books.
Books.
That's the best thing.
Darling,
Horse.
books.
They're just you just listen to him
Apples,
talk and
darling.
it's great.
Okay, so Ratty needs to just blend her keyframe here.
What's the
Darling.
horse special supposed to be?
Darling.
May. I know it's one of the months that starts with an M.
Darling. Apples.
I don't want to have her actually dip too much.
Darling.
I think I want to have her just do more of just a straight head, like to the side, not much more to it.
Darling.
I think I might even just leave it like that, because I think a head dip would be too much. I think if somebody is elegant, has a rarity.
Darling.
So I'll just keep it like that for now. See if we can just add in her eye close and
Darling.
May.
Darling. Darling. Darling.
Okay, maybe do just teeniest of dips.
Darling. Darling. Apples. Darling. Darling.
Yeah, that works fine there. Just a super small amount. Now we're going to add in our eye drop.
Darling. Darling. Apples. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Darling.
And add a little bit more O to her. A little bit more wide. From the side, it's a different look.
Darling. Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling.
Okay, and Rarity doesn't move at all in here. I actually do need to move her just a little. Not much. I'm just going to grab some, like, huge amount of time. And just grab... neck, head. Do something like that. Just stretch it over a long period of time.
Apples. Apples. Darling.
Okay, I'm probably gonna go... I'm gonna keep it like that, but I'm gonna round the crap out of this middle because I don't want to have no transition point.
Apples. Darling. Apples.
Okay, we're going to grab her butt.
Oh no.
Apples. Darling.
Okay.
Apples. Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling.
Okay, that's
I feel
fine.
like that's one way to get chat to wake up.
I will grab the butt.
Grab butt.
Okay, and
Darling.
Applejack needs to move just a teeny bit.
Just keep saying butt. Maybe like chat or
Butts.
butts.
Like, I'll just make this whole video a place where all they say is butts. Or bup.
That'll be the next video.
Bup.
Just button bumps. Button bumps. That should be a name of a restaurant. We can run it. Button butts.
That sounds like you're already asking for a visit from the FDA.
Darling.
Welcome to Button
Darling.
what is
You don't even know how to say the name of the restaurant.
Bumpin' Butts. No, Bumpin' Butts. Yes.
Darling. Darling.
Bumpin' Butts.
Darling.
Can I take your order?
Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Apples.
Like
Darling.
like rump roasts and what is it, the pig thing? It's mostly fat.
Apples. Darling.
Pork belly.
Apples. Darling.
I mean pork belly.
Apples. Darling. Apples. Darling. Darling.
So her head's kind of going up and come back down, so I wanted to add a little bit more of that motion at the beginning where her head's going down.
Apples. Darling. Darling.
Books, burn. No. Well, maybe she has certain books she doesn't like. She doesn't like coloring books because she doesn't know how to... She can't read them.
She can't stand the lines.
But for many years, she thought regular books were coloring books, so she was trying to color within all the letters, all the
Yes.
O's. Have you ever done that, where you get really bored on like an assignment in school and you just color in all the O's?
No.
What was this?
No.
Your mouth said no, but your body said yes.
Your mind. My mind's telling me no.
Darling. Books. Darling.
No, I can't. I don't think I did that. I definitely just space out in school, especially in grade school, and just like not be
Darling.
there.
Books.
Pretty much a kid who would just daydream with the whole class, which isn't great for learning.
Darling. Books.
What you gonna do? You got space adventures to go on. Have you heard of books?
Like, you're my Lord Savior book.
Oh no. Oh, 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 oh,
So
It's like
she has opened her third eye to the book.
She can read through the pages.
Certos. Certos. Oh, certos. Read the book.
Read the book.
She's instantly moving, but in the middle, she's technically in both at the same time, so she is a Twilight in superposition.
Darling. 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 Books. Darling.
Okay.
Books. Darling. Darling. Darling.
You need to do anything more for
Darling.
that.
Apples. Darling. Books.
Well, until I do like post stuff. Yeah, I can mark that one good too. CGI Twilight. I just like the face. And she's just like Twilight. Who farted?
Is there books about apples? There is Applejack. I will bring them to you.
Do you taste like apples?
I don't know. Everybody's gonna get jealous.
Do you taste like Applejacks? I'm doing a research paper into what Applejacks are made out of.
Well, they're not made of apples. Maybe that's why.
What is
they're made of
Applejacks? Applejack, what are you made out of?
Apples. 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 Apples.
It's this. I just love like this one
Apples.
and this one.
Books. Books. Books.
They're just so good.
This is cute. I like cute
Books. Books.
things.
Books.
This
Apples.
is a very
Darling.
cute video.
Books. Party.
Is this one actually keyframed?
Books. Party.
I think it is. It's base. Yeah, I have it marked red, so it's keyframed. And then we're getting to the point of we don't have any more keyframes left.
Is this a good thing?
Well, it means that I'm going to have to go back to doing some of that. Just this scene's going to be a little harder to get that done with. Because, you know,
Awesome.
the South Park walking.
Awesome.
Then that's perfect.
Books. Books.
I'm more worried about their... This is, I think, the most complicated motion of the whole thing is just getting them to walk up.
Yeah, stop there.
And look, she's goofed.
Okay, goof.
With Spike. Actually, where is Spike? Oh, yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. He's dead in a ditch
So,
somewhere.
except for Tom Spiegel. Tom Spiegel cares.
Books.
He got lost. He went on the grand journey to find all the Spike videos, or all the videos without Spike in them. He started... I just imagine he got lost, and he's just watching,
Darling.
like,
Darling. Darling.
C-SPAN videos on YouTube, and he's like, where's Spike in this? And that's when the Phantom's lost track of him. He's
He's like
just...
at a midlife crisis with Spike. I appreciate his diligence to the Spike religion.
Yes. You had all the other ponies, but where's Spike? And that's what you have to do to get noticed, though. You gotta, like, pick something stupid and just really stick with it. That's how the internet works.
Books.
Jeez. I'm getting rid of a lot of her of Applejack's
What?
extra motion because every one of these dots is a point that has to be saved. So that's data that's being taken up. It's an individual line of X, Y, Z and the rotation amount. So if I go to these and I say in, now it changes it to one dot because it's just got to save where the line goes. But by doing that, it just over time is ever so slightly saves data. Some of these files I have are in the hundreds of megabytes for it save because some of the motions are just that big. So scaling that stuff back helps in the end. Having a file that is half the size loads faster, especially with how I like often SFM likes to crash.
Somebody chewed on my glasses.
Was it you?
Might have been me.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Darling. Darling. Darling.
I need a new pair. I have had one pair of glasses for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's fine.
If something happened to them, I'd be blind.
I used to use I'd go like 4 or 5 years as long as the prescription hasn't changed, you're usually fine. You should just going in for an eye exam is important, but then they're always going to try to sell you glasses because they're going to make a lot of money on
And
that.
they make way more money off the glasses than they do off the exams. There's a lot of stores that are overpriced.
Darling, darling, darling. Darling, darling, darling.
The YT.
What?
The YT. He was watching.
Darling, darling, darling.
I do believe that his his entire dialogue was filled with hog and yeet. Oh, you're watching Adam. Neat.
Yeah, that does sound like Adam.
Yes. Listening to him speak sometimes is a real treat because it's like he's not the youngest anymore, but he still like tries real hard to continue with the whole like internet lingo of whatever period of time he's in. I do feel like he's gonna become an old man who's still gonna be doing all that though. It's like, I just got yeeted out of my wheelchair today.
I get to see if he stands up. You basic.
Fantastic.
I thought. Oh, surprise wide. That's what I thought. That one. I need not squeeze. What squeeze? Is this eyebrow being extra weird?
People really do that, Sunset, because like we were just talking about, a friend of ours, pretty much half his dialogue. Tell me, made it rumbly.
It sounded like a dog.
It wants that fondue.
I don't like her eyebrows for this type of thing, but I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah, I get why.
It goes so quick though. So
yeah. I thought about it, but I thought also there's not really anything you can do about it. So,
but I did that one first so that when she goes to do this little bit, I can just say grab this point to here.
yeah, as long as it doesn't go past a certain point, I guess.
But then she goes wide and then comes down a little bit. I'm not gonna bother. Oh, she does another blink. Gotta grab that quick. This one is going to need the whole eyebrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my eyebrows stay in one place even when I'm blinking.
This is. So she goes a little wide and then it's supposed to come back a little, but what I'm going to do instead is just add a little bit of this one.
Yeah.
So it comes back down a little.
Sunset Groovy never left. Ash from Evil Dead has kept that alive forever. Groovy is awesome.
Well, yeah, but Ash from Evil Dead died for like many years until he came back in the TV series.
But Groovy will live on forever. Just because of that one scene where he straps a chainsaw to his arm and it's Groovy. It's great. Man, there's so many movies I need to watch again. I was about ready to say, I need to watch it again. And that would just join a long list at this point.
Okay, same thing here. Eyebrow.
Just want to do a 24-hour movie marathon. With a
I
bunch
don't know
of
if I
friends.
could do that.
You could if you had like a whole week off to really like cover afterwards.
Well, I just don't know if I would be able to maintain that level of focus on something.
You would like it would be going on in the background while other people like during a party.
Because I think in Austin, Texas, there's a theater there. They on the birthday of the owner, they do something called a button-omathon, and it is basically 24 hours of movies.
Yeah.
And so people just sleep in the chair or whatever. But it's hard to get tickets because they sell it really fast. And sometimes they show pre-release versions of movies. Like I think one year they showed Iron Man 3
Before it was out.
before it was ever out, and when not even all the 3D was finished.
Oh wow.
And I think Robert Downey Jr. was there to promote it and everything.
Wow.
It's a very famous theater.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And they can do some testing with people there to it too. So,
Yeah, I have to agree. When I was in my early 20s, I could do 24 hours. Heck, I did do it a few times. Now, I think it would kill me. I would be dead. I would get to hour 21 and then just fall over, and that would be the end of Mike.
okay. Most for anything, yeah, is the eyebrows over the eyelids. Yeah, but there's not much I can do about that. Even the show, they will do something like that, but I can't do anything about it. If I'm gonna have them there, it's either I bring them down that low, or I don't use them at all. I get rid of them completely. So, but the thing is, it's really quick. So, because yeah, when she closes her eyes, having the eyebrow up here would be tough. I mean, like that doesn't make any sense either. It would look really weird, even if that's the way it really would be. So,
Yeah.
so I just say don't care. All of them are just using surprise because I'm just making them all like really happy or whatever. So, anyways, we're all done for today. It's 9 o'clock. We hit our time.
9 o'clock and all is well.
Sure. So I will work on getting that video up to the YouTubes some in the morning or something. I don't know. But yeah. Otherwise, have a good week. I think Sunday's game stream. I think we're going to be continuing Satisfactory, but I have to. Think about it. I think we will though.
Come for the factory, stay for the death train that was accidentally built.
Death trains are nice.
Yeah.
I think we did Jay last week, right?
I don't remember. I think it might have been AZ. Maybe.
No, we did AZ on Tuesday. I think so. The other only one on here. Oh wait, let's raid Linus and just get drowned out in the other crap.
Yeah.
No, we'll go raid Fiora. I think are they doing the dungeons and whatever thing? I think betcha they are. So we've got to get some channel points. Yeah, they're doing Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So we'll just raid over there and stuff. So don't I have fun? Well, we'll try. Let me switch to Kitty.
Meow meow.
And we'll go there. I haven't seen Mid-Prem stream in a while.
She does. She streams different times than you. Thing.
Oh, she must have changed it. So, anyways, have a good one. Thank you for the cheers to Nolan and Sir Edward. Thank you for the follows from Small Horse Fan, Alagio. I'm gonna mess that one up 100 times. Cart Bean and Ace Combat Fan. I think I missed Ace Combat Fan. That must have been one right at the beginning or something. Thank you for the resub from Hotline. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So, have a good one.
Adios.
Diddly diddly do da boo. Do da da do da da